The day my nosy neighbor tore open a federal secret. It took exactly 24 seconds for my world to tilt. I came home from a long day at my home office to find a package on my porch, its edges ripped open, contents spilling out like a poorly kept secret. At first, I thought it was just a nosy neighbor being careless. But when I saw the shredded, confidential court evidence seal, my stomach dropped. Inside were sworn affidavits, classified land deeds, and a USB labeled Exhibit D. Someone in my quiet, lakeside neighborhood had just committed a federal crime. And I had a hunch who it was. 3 months ago, I'd inherited my late uncle's 2-story craftsman home in Willow Lake, a postcard-perfect suburb in upstate New York. The air smelled of pine and privilege, and the only sounds were birdsong and the occasional hum of a luxury SUV. Except, of course, for Susan Whitaker, the HOA president who ruled our cul-de-sac like a queen with a clipboard. Susan was a former realtor turned neighborhood dictator, her smile as sharp as her manicured nails. She'd fine you for a mailbox tilt or a hedge an inch too tall. I'd stayed under her radar by keeping to myself. No parties, no loud music, no unapproved lawn ornaments. But that morning, everything changed. I'd gotten a call from Judge Harold Bennett, my old law school mentor. He needed a favor. My uncle's fraud case, tied to shady municipal land deals, was being reopened with new evidence. A key witness had emerged, and Harold had sent a sealed package to my door, meant for my eyes only. It was dropped behind a planter for security. I was in a Zoom deposition when it arrived. 37 minutes later, it was torn open. Kneeling by the package, I saw the tamper-evident tape sliced clean, like someone used a scalpel. Susan wasn't reckless, she was calculating. The fact that she'd resealed the package meant she knew she'd crossed a line. Inside were documents naming executives and inspectors from my uncle's old business, plus a USB with a chain of custody log. Any tampering could derail a multi-million-dollar fraud case. If the wrong person touched it, the FBI could call it interference with federal proceedings. I locked the package in a safe under my kitchen counter and checked my security footage. A week earlier, I'd hidden a motion-activated camera in a fake birdhouse after Susan sent me a violation notice for parking my car incorrectly. At 9:14 a.m., there she was, glancing around like a thief, slicing open my package with a letter opener she'd brought from home. She read the papers right there on my porch, then shoved them back in and walked away, smoothing her blazer like nothing happened. My blood boiled, but I stayed calm. This wasn't just about a nosy neighbor anymore. This was criminal. I called Harold. She opened it, I said. I've got her on tape. He paused. Secure everything. Don't confront her. I'll send someone. He hung up, leaving me staring at the footage. Susan had no idea she'd just stepped into a legal minefield. She thought she was snooping on a neighbor's Amazon order. Instead, she'd touched evidence tied to wiretaps and federal surveillance. The next morning, Susan strutted down the street, waving like she owned the place. I nodded back, my face neutral. She didn't know I knew. That was my edge. Later, an email announced an HOA meeting with a new agenda item: suspicious parcel activity. Susan was trying to spin her crime into a neighborhood safety issue. Classic. At 7 p.m., I sat in the back of the community clubhouse, a stuffy room smelling of coffee and old carpet. Susan, pearls gleaming, tapped her gavel and launched into her act. A package was left unattended, she said, eyeing me. Out of concern, I inspected it. What I found was troubling legal papers, anonymous USBs, materials suggesting illicit activity. Murmurs rippled through the room. She proposed an HOA rule to inspect all packages for safety. It was illegal and absurd, but her loyalists nodded. I stayed silent, letting her dig deeper. After the meeting, I called Agent Tom Carver, a DOJ contact Harold sent. She's doubling down, I said, uploading the footage. Tom laughed. She's handing us a gift. He revealed the USB linked to shell companies under investigation, one tied to Susan's husband, a retired mortgage broker. The plot thickened. Susan wasn't just nosy, she was a cog in a larger machine. To bait her, I installed a fake camera above my porch, obvious and bulky. That night, my hidden camera caught Susan, dressed in black, climbing a ladder to steal it. She tripped over a solar light, cursing loudly, and I stifled a laugh. Every move she made tightened the noose. Then, a chilling twist, an anonymous letter in my mailbox. They're watching you. Stop digging. The faint scent of perfume and Arial font screamed Susan, but it hinted at a partner. She wasn't alone. At the next HOA meeting, Susan accused me of spreading paranoia. I raised my hand. Am I being accused of a crime? The room froze. If so, put it in writing. Under oath. Her face twitched. The meeting ended abruptly. Later, a quiet HOA board member, Ed, slipped me a USB. I found this in Susan's hidden files, he whispered. It held recordings, spreadsheets, and a plan to force residents to sell through fines. My uncle's name was on the list. So was mine. I sent everything to Tom. Within hours, the DOJ set a court date. Susan was charged with mail tampering, obstruction, and trespassing. At the hearing, the video of her slicing open the package played. She claimed safety concerns. The judge wasn't buying it. Are you authorized to open federal evidence? He asked. Silence. The verdict hit hard. $150,000 in damages, a restraining order, and a ban from HOA boards. The HOA was dissolved, its assets audited. Susan moved out quietly. Her empire of rules crumbled. The neighborhood changed overnight. Kids biked freely. An elderly couple hung a wind spinner without fear. A new family moved into Susan's house, their laughter filling the air. I rebuilt my backyard fence, reclaiming land Susan had stolen through fake surveys. Sitting on my porch, the lake shimmering, I felt peace. Justice wasn't just the courtroom, it was this quiet freedom. The DOJ later confirmed the investigation exposed a statewide fraud ring. My uncle's case was reopened, and Susan's husband faced charges. I met Harold for coffee. You lit the fuse, he said. I shrugged. I just wanted to live in peace. Back home, I pinned a DOJ eagle emblem inside my coat. The neighborhood was mine again, not because I owned it, but because I protected it. What do you think? Have you ever faced a bully like Susan, wielding power to hide injustice? Share your thoughts in the comments. Should we fight these battles quietly, like I did, or confront them head on? Let's hear your take on standing up to abuse and fighting for what's right.